Arcade Chronicles. Today we are playing Star Gladiator. This is another game that's headed with 3D, so we're going to be playing a handful of these 3D games here. Go ahead. That one's really loud. Star Gladiator. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly when this came out. Again, I believe it was the mid-90s. If I'm not mistaken, there is a PS1 translation of this game. Probably, I think, an early PS1 game. Maybe even a long box. Anyway, I may be playing this game once or twice before, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot and see how it is. 1996, Capcom. This is one of the interesting games that were being made when Capcom was kind of switching between or transitioning into 3D, and they didn't want to bring a Street Fighter game over yet. They eventually did with Street Fighter EX, I believe, but they wanted to try some things out, so they invented some of these new IPs like Star Gladiators that allowed them to experiment with some ideas and see, how different things were going to work with fighting games. I can remember, again, seeing previews of this game when it was coming out for the PlayStation, and yeah, it always looked pretty cool to me. Alright, that wasn't so hot though. Alright, let's do it here. Just kind of bashing on the controls right now. It looks like we've got... we have a block button, that's interesting. And we have a punch, a secondary attack, and then yeah, a block button, that's always something you gotta remember. Interesting. This guy I've got kind of reminds me of Jack from Tekken. He's kind of a big lumbering... Ooh, impaled me on his sword. Yes, I certainly did lose. Alright, let's try that again. I hate to be embarrassed by the game. Yeah, we're going to switch to a different character here. Ooh, what about a dinosaur? A dinosaur it is. Alright. Let's get past one level, or one stage here, and I'll be happy. So I've got a dinosaur carrying a club with a human skull on it, so that's an interesting concept. So yeah, and I think that's part of the hook with this game, if I'm not mistaken, was that it's a sword fighting game. Each character has some kind of a weapon. Ah, so they do have ring outs, okay. Alright, see, I keep forgetting about the block button. Just letting this guy tear me up. Yeah, let's try a throw move. Let's see if we can find one of those. Oh, man. That was brutal. The sound effects are kind of... The music seems okay, but the sound effects are kind of kind of barren. You hear a grunt here or there, but there's not too much. There we go. Yeah, let's hear that scream. You're like a velociraptor or something. All right, let's see. Am I fighting myself? It appears to be the case. I'm the exotic blue striped version. And he's just the run-of-the-mill orange version. That was pretty easy. Uh-oh. What's he doing? So even though he's bipedal and is able to use weapons, he's still not afraid to get a little blood on his teeth, too. He's the best of both worlds. Oh. All the benefits of being a reptile, but also able to stand on his own 2 feet and use weapons. Interesting. Wonder why this character didn't continue on. Alright, so now it looks like, okay, that's kind of like a... Is that a bird or a guy dressed as a bird? Again, back in these days, these graphics aren't bad, but not a lot of polygons to work with. One thing I do notice, though, is that it looks like at least some of the backgrounds might be 3D. That was a big deal back in those days. If you were around back then, you would remember that when games started putting the 3D backgrounds in, or before they were doing that, that was kind of like something you would look for in terms of how advanced a game was, if it was just rendering the fighters or if it was rendering the entire background too. Big one I remember with that, where it was so obvious, was Virtua Fighter 2, and specifically, oh no! Shun stage, I think it was, when you went under the bridge. Which was really cool. This looks like it's doing some 3D also there. All right, well, I did at least win 1 round, I think, maybe 2, I forget. But I think that's good. So that was Star Gladiator from 1996. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.